Now you're in the middle of what seems like a summer off,
right?
Fishing. You're growing vegetables instead. We should say, I think, thanks, from everyone here, I'm sure, if you haven't had it already, then massive congratulations on the capture of the Burghfield Common.
Thank you.
Always one of the standout moments of any year that it's that someone's lucky enough to catch it.
Yeah.
We're not going to talk about that because hopefully you're going to.
But I will at some stage do a slideshow.
Yes.
But yeah,
I was going to try and pin you down to this autumn, but that sounds like you're quite evasive on that.
But the 29th of July will live with me. Those were, just puts emotions straight in my throat just thinking about it.
Yeah.
When you look in the landing net and that fish is there,
you
could hang your rods up.
Well, this is the worry side. How do you follow the Burghfield Common? How do you feel about your fishing at the moment?
Well, I'm very relaxed. We've had a tricky year from a family point of view with one thing and another, and I haven't really. I've been busy and busy tending my vegetable patch and being around at home.
And how important is it? Because when you were in the swing of that campaign, we've spoken, and I know how much effort you put in backwards and forwards to Reading. How important is that rhythm and that kind of almost, you don't have to think about it, you're just in the routine?
Yeah. It is very important to those captures, and anybody that's chasing one specific fish will know you have to go down that road. And I remember people, contacts, friends saying, Ben down in the West Country saying, how about we hook up for go have a social 3 days fishing? It's like, I can't do that. Ben, I've got to go to Burghfield because if you don't, that's maybe a chance gone. You just, I mean, Tom Stokes said the same thing. You just got to keep going. You've got to keep going.
With all due respect to Tom, he was in probably a better position in life to do that than you were.
Life does
with a business and a family.
It gets in the way a tiny bit.
Yeah.
But I've got a very lovely, very patient wife.
Yeah.
And
and friends who were happy not to see you as much.
Well, they just know I didn't ring them very much.
But like I say, as much like every fibre in my body wants to ask you more about Burghfield, but we're going to respect the fact that you're going to do.
I promise
you better do the slideshow now.
I promise. I'm touching wood, but I promise I will get around to it. Yeah.
And if you don't, you've got to come back on.
I'll come back and do. I'll do one of these. Oh no! I can't believe I said that.
You said it live on there now.
No, I'll get the slideshow done.
I think we should do it.
I
anyway.
like this. A slideshow, Rich, is just a.
It's retro, mate.
I know it's old school, but just doing the Raisbury slideshow way back in a hall with 200 people in the dark with those images up on the wall, it's a certain magic to that. I still can't talk about it either. I could burst into tears every time I think about the Commons.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, we don't want necessarily...
No, tears on camera now is no good. Let me do that.
Toby's saying yes. Do it.
No, let me do that in a dark. Let me do that in a dark hall where people can't see me sobbing.
But the fact you're still so emotional about it, is it the context of the year that you've had as well?
Yeah, it's just the fish. You fish forever for that. You have, haven't you? I know that it was like probably a 15-year break in the middle of your association with Burghfield. Yeah, it's the most unpredictable, odd character of a carp ever.
How much in the interim between your first, in the 90s, you were there first, weren't you?
Yeah, 96, 97.
So the Burghfield Common did Piers, when did Piers, had it even been caught at that stage?
Yeah, Piers caught it when I was there actually fishing.
Yeah.
I think it was 30-something pounds, wasn't
39,
it? Yeah, so.
But it then been a huge chunk of time in between when you weren't there. How often would you think about that fish in the interim?
Not loads, but as time passed and I'd obviously went to Raisbury and caught those fish, then you could see it sort of coming back together again. You're thinking, oh no.
It's mad to think you went to Burghfield, then you caught those history fish from Raisbury, which seemed like they were in their own era in and of themselves, and then came back and the Burghfield Common was still alive.
Well, not only alive, but it had gone from being a big common to like a super select, the carp, the carp to catch.
Obviously, we talked a little bit about the things that this demands. I mean, I don't know how many miles you did. It would have been a lot though to Reading back.
Don't ever think about it.
No,
I know how many times I went, give or take. Yeah, I kept sort of a few notes, and I know how much bait I used and those sorts of details, and how many Kamakura hooks I used.
Yeah,
all those things.
Well, you caught quite a lot of carp, didn't you? As well,
I caught some amazing carp. Yeah, it's an amazing place.
But during that time, did you I mean, how do you get into the zone side? Was it tunnel vision? Was there ever doubt that it might happen?
A massive doubt, Rich. Because of the way that place is, and because of the sort of the carnage of humanity that happens around it, it's this most beautiful blue oasis dotted with green, lush islands, and just all the way around is just the carnage of humanity, really. Burnt out
It's
cars.
like the Wild West, isn't it? I mean,
fly tipping,
yeah.
carnage. I mean, there was a bit of that going on at Raisbury, but Burghfield was like pimped up.
You've only fished waters with like, those kind of issues, socio-economic issues.
Yeah, so you have to get. I became increasingly tunnel vision, and as opportunities line themselves out, I thought, well, I have no choice now. I have to. It will be me or the fish.
Right.
So
you were willing to be there in 10 years' time.
Yeah. Just because of the way the situations lined up, I thought I just have to keep going.
And how much of that was to do with the prestige of that carp and the fact that it probably is the last of that?
Well, it's like the last of that generation because of otter predation, because of commercialisation. To go and turn up at 120-acre gravel pit like Raisbury and not find anglers there. Or when I remember going around Raisbury, and there was hardly a soul there, and that was when Mary was the British record. So that sort of place is harder to come by now, definitely.